Advanced Research Projects Agency (DARPA) to design a rocket, announced on Tuesday, January 24th, that it could build a working nuclear thermal rocket engine as soon as 2027. NASA current rocket systems, including the Space Launch System which last year sent Artemis 1 rocket on a historic round trip to the Moon, are based on a century-old traditional method of chemical propulsion, in which an oxidizer, which gives the reaction more oxygen to combust with, is mixed with flammable rocket fuel to create a flaming jet of thrust. The proposed nuclear system, on the other hand, will harness the chain reaction from tearing apart atoms to power a nuclear fission reactor that will be 3 or more times more efficient and could reduce Mars flight times to a fraction of the current 7 months, according to the agency. To the Moon, NASA launches Artemis 1, the most powerful rocket ever built. Even this article published long time ago from November 16th, 2022, but I am so greatly appreciated the effort of creating a spacecraft to send humans to the moons again. So I'll read this news again for you guys. Even in case you didn't know about the Artemis 1 yet. The $20 billion rocket launches on its fourth attempt, a milestone in the Artemis program that will eventually carry astronauts to the Moon. After months of delay, the most powerful space rocket ever built has blasted off from its Florida launch pad, embarking on the first of 2 test journeys preceding the mission that would return humans to the Moon for the first time since 1972, when Neil Armstrong first become the first human to ever walk on the Moon. The $20 billion Artemis 1 rocket, made up of the 6-person Orion capsule perched atop the 30-story Space Launch System (SLS) mega moon rocket, fired 8.8 million pounds (3.9 million kilograms) of thrust to lift off at 1:47 a.m. ET Wednesday, November 47th, from Launch Pad 39B at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, embarking on a 30-day, 1.3 million mile (2.1 million kilometers) maiden voyage to the Moon and back. The flight is the first of 3 missions that will be vital testbeds for the hardware, software, and ground systems intended to one day establish a base on the Moon and transport the first humans to Mars. This first test flight, part of the Artemis program, named after the twin sister of the ancient Greek pod Apollo, will be followed by Artemis 2 and Artemis 3 in 2024 and 2025-2026, respectively. Artemis 2 will make the same journey as Artemis 1, but with a 4-person human crew, and Artemis 3 will send the first woman and the first person of color to land on the Moon's surface at the South Pole. "We are going," NASA wrote on Twitter following the launch. For the first time, the NASA SLS rocket and NASA Orion fly together. Artemis 1 begins a new chapter in human lunar exploration. 2 minutes and 12 seconds after liftoff, Artemis 1 2-side-mounted solid rocket boosters separated to splash down in the Atlantic Ocean. Then, roughly 6 minutes later, the SLS core engine shut off and the rocket's 2 stages split, leaving Orion and the SLS upper stage to make a short orbit of Earth, which will follow with 22-second engine burn to move the rocket farther from our planet. Finally, the upper stage's first burn was followed by an even longer, 18-minute translunar injection burn. This is kind of really long story, so if you want to learn more about this, I'll put a link in the description box below. But now I'm so fed up with reading about space. I'll move on to another news, which is about planet Earth, I suppose. Okay, so let's scroll down a little bit. We also have about climate change as well, which is the problem I am really paying attention to in recent days, because, climate change is a serious problem and people should take practical solutions towards it, because when it accelerated or this pollution becomes worse, it will have a devastating damage and a devastating effect um, on both human and animals. And if climate change become worse in 2050, it will be considered the sixth mass extinction on Earth. Let's see. I think I will read this one. I think okay. So I've read this new previous day, so I'll move on to another one. Scroll down a little bit. Number two. Okay, here. What is climate change and how is it affecting Earth? Climate change is real and humans are causing it.